What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another game recap here with the Bring the Thunder podcast. Thunder keep rolling, baby. 121 to 105 in Sacramento on TNT without so many players yet again. Brief little overview. Shai locked up MVP tonight, another 32-point outing. Chet continues to grow, not literally, but as a player. And the rest of the team looked great. We'll kick it off in the first quarter. OKC got off to, pretty decent start. Ended up winning the first quarter by 10. Got everyone involved. I think Shai only had 8 in the first, which is still, on average for 32 points, actually. So that is what he ended with. That's funny. But, yeah, started off well and never really looked back.
60 wins, man. Looking good. I liked how we shared the ball around in the first half. In the first half, we had 7 guys on pace for double digits. Shai had 18. Holmgren, or at the end of the first half, Shai had 18. Chet had 9 points. Joe had 8 points. Dort had 8 points. J. Will had 6 points. Caruso had 5 points, and Dylan Jones had 5 points.
Yeah, listen, everybody played extremely well tonight, especially in that first half. Isaiah Joe was shooting the hell out of the ball today. Caruso's still been on fire these last few games on the West Coast trip. We do move to 2-0 on this trip, I believe. But yeah, I just want to talk about a few key stats here tonight. Shai became one of 4 players in NBA history to have 65 consecutive games of 20 points or more. Like Landon said, OKC tallied their 60th win tonight, 8th fastest to 60 wins in NBA history, which is also another insane stat. And yeah, let's dive right into that third quarter because, first half was just another OKC game. Role players picking it up, Shai doing his thing, Chet doing his thing, but let's dive into that third quarter. I'm pretty sure the Sacramento Kings hit about 1,000 threes in one quarter. Cut it down to 6 points. That run was quickly ended. But in that third quarter especially, it was good defense by OKC, fine offense by OKC. They just knocked down every three. Landon, how about Keegan Murray?
Yeah, if I hear the Keegan and the response with the crowd going Murray chant one more time, I think my head might blow off. It's just ridiculous. It's not – what happened is they made adjustments at halftime. They played to a faster pace, and they were spreading the floor and zipping the ball around, which was causing them to get more three-pointers. But to just make that many back-to-back three-pointers, man.
Keegan Murray's good. He's good.
Yeah, he's good. He's good, but he's streaky. He hits a few, and then he starts getting confidence and starts firing away.
Right. Well,
16 third quarter points.
Yeah, Keegan Murray ends with 9 threes tonight. Levine with 4. Ellis with 4. DeRozan even hit a 3. LaRavia had 2. McDermott had 3 at the end of the game there. So, they shot the lights out tonight. But again,
good thing our leading shooter, 3-point shooter, was on to match those 3-point shots. Talking
exactly.
about Isaiah Joe.
As well with Caruso tonight. Can we just talk about Jalen Williams, not J-Dub as TNT said tonight, but Jalen Williams, man, this guy is just awesome for this team. Steps in whenever they want to play him, comes in and plays outstanding. Tonight with 9 points, 9 boards in 21 minutes. Another 2 threes. I feel like it's pretty consistent. Consistent is the word. He comes in, he hits a couple threes, makes a couple defensive stops, gets an assist, gets out of the game. It's just unbelievable how deep this team is. And again, tonight without Cason Wallace, without Aaron Wiggins, without J-Dub again, it just keeps getting better and better.
I think it was his first boom. He hit it. He hit the 3, and then he started chirping out the Sacramento Kings head coach, Doug Christie, and Doug Christie had some words for him too.
Christie was having a miserable night tonight. I kept flashing to him on TNT every time we would go on a run. He just wanted to, he was so frustrated. But all in all, super happy about the win. Going into Sacramento is always not too easy, and we've been able to make it look easy a few times this season. And I mean, they just keep rolling. OKC just keeps rolling, guys. I really, really don't want to jinx anything, but like 70 wins is like so attainable at the moment. Not saying it's gonna happen. Don't take that literally, but
it's definitely on the table. I want to circle back to the third quarter. One thing was Keegan shooting like 34% right now from three, and then also I guess the thing that we struggled with was we had Hartenstein and Chet on the floor at the same time, and that lineup against a small ball lineup is going to struggle each and every time. We saw Laravia get those threes off against Chet. We saw Hartenstein struggle to get out to Sabonis and other perimeter shooters. They're just one step slower, and that's our strength when we play small ball against other teams. They figured it out. I mentioned this on live post-game recap that they figured it out on the offensive end, how to run the two-man action, how to generate offense between the two of them. The place where we struggle is when the spacing and the other team matches against us with a small ball lineup, they start hitting corner shooters open, and we're just one step slower with Hartenstein having to chase out to the wings. And then the rotations that we have to make in place of Hartenstein or Chet is also slower because it's not a perimeter player that's able to transition over. So we saw like Shai transitioning a little bit late, Lou Dort having to transition a little bit late because they're having to pick up slack for those guys on the perimeter. So that's where we kind of struggle, and that's where that lead diminished. And then when we went right back to having Jay Will in the game, we ballooned right after that. So, and then for the rest of the game, we won it out with having one or the other on the court. So that I think that is a weakness of ours where we can't expose it. We've seen them, utilize the corner shooters, but I think against better teams and just teams in general, we have to maybe play softer zones. That's my opinion. Like have both those guys in. Let's just play a quick zone, 2-3, 3-2, whatever you want to run. We'll be better off that way instead of having to run around the whole court and cover shooters. We're just not going to be able to cover that ground.
Absolutely. That's a really solid point. If they were going to have the double big against a small ball lineup, which I don't agree with, a soft zone wouldn't be a terrible idea. I actually think it would be a good idea. I'm just hoping that, OKC does have, I'd like to say, the best small ball lineup in the NBA, and we were missing Kaysen, missing Dub, missing Wiggins. I'd like to hope that double big doesn't have to play against small ball lineups when they're all back and healthy, especially in the playoffs. I mean, listen, every night we play is like we could put anyone out there, and at this point, they're still going to get the win. They're just like messing around with rotations, which I'm completely fine with right now. I'd like when Dub gets back and everyone else gets back to kind of lock it in for this last couple, week and a half, 2 weeks of this regular season. But yeah, really good point. Let's move on. Oh, sorry, Lenny, go ahead.
Oh, I liked I did like our ability to match up big to big with Sabonis tonight. His scoring didn't really become a problem. He only had 8 points and was 3 for 12 from the field. So I thought we did a really good job preventing him from getting going. And they had to rely on other guys like Keegan Murray instead of just feeding Sabonis in the paint.
Yeah, absolutely. Sabonis used to give OKC problems, but now with Hartenstein and Chet's development, I mean, he kind of is like, I don't want to say non-factor, but he kind of gets dominated. Chet was killing that guy all night. It was great to see.
And I think that's OKC's principle of defense is get beat by the bums and not the main guys. We saw that with the Mavs series last year, which didn't work very well. But yeah. I was going to go ahead and do the stat of the game if you're down.
Yep.
So you guys have to guess. A player on the Kings had a plus-minus of -31, by far the lowest of the game.
A player on the Kings had a plus-minus of negative or minus 31. Well, it has to be a starter because to be minus 31, you got to play a decent amount of minutes. I guess I'll shoot out my guess first, and I'll just go with I'm in between Ellis and Sabonis. I'm going to go Ellis.
Okay, 7.
Sorry, I was focused on something else. Can you repeat the question again?
So someone on the Kings had a plus minus of -31. Who was it?
I looked it up.
Someone on the Kings had a plus minus of -31.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I looked it up. I'll give you a hint because I listen. It's not Ellis. This is a guy that OKC continues to attack no matter where he plays. Because he's just not.
DeMar DeRozan.
And Landon, your guess?
It's close. Landon's staring right at the statue.
No. I was gonna go. I'll just stick with my original guess as DeRozan. I didn't really see him as a problem tonight.
It was Zach LaVine.
Zach LaVine. I mean,
that's shocking.
But you know what that shows with OKC is not only are their guards going to absolutely swarm you on defense, they're just going to outscore every single other guard pairing in the league. It's that simple. Especially when you add guards like Kaysen and Wiggins into the mix, if you want to call Wiggs a 2, whatever, 3. So many mismatches. This team is just they're the best team in the NBA. Hopefully they get Dub back. You guys have an update on Dub? He should be back soon. I think he's
he was warming up yesterday, today, so he's getting pretty close to a return here. I'm sure we'll probably rest Chet next game, have him in. They're kind of transitioning between both those guys, and then if they're both healthy, then Shai will probably get a rest here shortly. So we're going to be transitioning between all three of the stars getting rest games for the rest of the season.
I think if we were in that 2 through 10 pack, they would probably be playing him, but there's no reason to. You might as well be extra cautious. We have nothing to lose. We have the number 1 seed locked up. It's smarter to just take their time with it and let him fully recover.
Yeah, I would like to see him come back sooner than later because I want him. Yeah, I said this maybe a few episodes ago where, yeah, we could probably be good enough to use the first round as his warm-up coming back to knock off the rust. I'd like to see him knock off the rust before the playoffs if that, is attainable because we'd like to see a full product in the first round, especially just to kick things off. What do we have? 10 games left. Season ends April 13th. Today's the 25th, so next 2 games I expect him back, and hopefully they could get him rolling. And then, like whoever said, get Shai a few days off, not too many, a game or 2 here and there. Let Dub kind of run the show, try to get back into a groove because he's been out. I mean, hasn't felt like it because we've just been winning, but he's been out 15 days already. Going to be 17 by the next game. So
they're being extra cautious. Also, we have AJ coming back here. He'll start warming up and things like that. Like we'll get an update on him next week, and then he should be good to go for the first round series. Probably getting light 5 to 10 minutes per game in the first round, and then ramp up a little bit as the playoffs go on. He's someone that we can utilize in a situations like Western Conference Finals. Like he's easily a guy if he's by then that we can.
I think he should be good for the last week of games, like the last 5-6 games, based off his injury report. So
I'm super curious how how he's going to look when he comes back. I mean, he's been out a super long time. Feels like the whole season pretty much. And then I'm curious to see, what type of spot minutes are played in the playoffs, if there is any at all. Just because we've been so good and super deep, and we have had so many players step up in this rotation this year. I would like to see him in the rotation, but we'll see what happens.
Just have so many guys.
We are coming home to OKC on Thursday against Memphis.
4 straight home games.
Starting a 4 straight home game skit there. And then
it'll be a good stretch because we have this 7-game win streak here, 11 straight road wins. So home stretch would be great. And then also we had the 4 straight wins over the Kings this season.
Yeah, beating the Kings is great because the Kings are always a really hard team for OKC, especially in Sacramento. I think I mentioned that earlier. So 4 straight, just as an OKC fan, beating up on the Kings is like okay, we're really good. Because the Kings, no matter how bad, how good they are in Sacramento, OKC has always had problems there. So
and that's the Hartenstein effect, I believe.
I think so too.
Also, I was going to mention we've tied our win total of that 2012 Thunder team. So this is bringing it full circle for all the OG Thunder fans out there.
Absolutely, and can't be more excited. Let's talk about 70 wins. We have some hard games down the stretch. I'd like, to see, especially in the Lakers back-to-back games or 2 games in 3 days, maybe like one full healthy OKC squad against them. But how would you guys like to see OKC play this out? I mean, they got 10 games. They got to get into a little bit of a groove before. I mean, they're already on a 7-game win streak, but I'm talking about fully healthy before the playoffs start. So, what are your guys' expectations these last 10 games?
We'll probably drop a game or 2 was my prediction, just because we're going to be resting guys. Like Shai will get a game or 2. J-Dub will still probably get a couple games here off because he'll probably not be playing too many back-to-backs. Chet will probably get 2 or 3 games off. So we'll have a couple games where they're all 3 on the court or 2 of them are on the court. So I can still expect us to maybe drop 1 here or there. It's definitely still possible, but I don't think anything more than 2. And I wouldn't be surprised if we go undefeated in the stretch as well. I think the main question that the casual NBA fan is asking of us is, are we going to continue this into the playoffs? And obviously, as hardcore Thunder fans, we definitely know that'll be the case. But I think it's just so funny that the narrative is team continue to do what we've been doing, which is dominating the league. Right. It's a pretty easy way to answer that question because there's so many stats and things favoring us. The thing that's, I guess, not favoring us is just the media and the narrative around free throws, things like that. And we've seen that in this game and the previous game where it's starting to come in and hurt us a little bit. And I think it'll probably hurt us just a tad as well. And we've got to readjust and get more paint buckets instead of relying on going to the rack and expecting to get calls. We already don't get calls. We're bottom 2 in the league right now in terms of getting free throws. And I don't expect that to change. I feel like it's only going to get worse. So we should make that adjustment here pretty soon of relying on being a little bit more of a jump shooting team, going back to the mid-range.
Yeah, even some flopping chants thrown into the Intuit Dome against the Clippers last game. But the thing I like in this closing stretch of the season is we faced 3 potential teams that we could face in the playoffs in the Western Conference, starting with the Grizzlies and then the Rockets and the Lakers. One thing I want to see in the last stretch of the season is those teams be fully healthy against us, because that plays to our advantage to get an early scout look and kind of figure out how we would match up with them in the playoffs and what we would throw out against them rotation-wise.
Jack?
Well, 10 games left. The last 2 don't really count because it's against the Pelicans and Jazz, so I wouldn't expect any of the real players, any of the starters to play that.
The real player.
I didn't mean it like that.
I know what you meant.
But anyway, I would like everyone to play for the rest of the season until those 2 games. I don't want people sitting out just because we've secured the first seed. Just experiment. We're still not 100% with these double big lineup. We have, like Landon said, playoff teams coming up. And we've got some pretty good teams. Suns, Lakers twice, Rockets, Pistons.
Yeah, the Suns have looked semi-decent recently, too.
Those are all good battles for us that we can test different lineups, different zones, all the stuff leading into the playoffs. Right now, we should be testing everything.
Do we have a chance of playing for the Suns? Are they fighting for that 8 seed?
Yeah, they're the 10 seed right now.
Yeah.
Interesting.
They're probably looking more and more like they're going to move up into that 8 spot, especially with us beating the Kings right now. And then Mavs and whoever else is kind of sitting in there.
Well, they'd have to play the loser of Clippers Timberwolves at the moment. So I still have both of those teams over Phoenix, but Kevin Durant wants to go crazy. I could see them beating the Clippers, and I totally welcome Durant home in a first-round sweep for sure. But yeah, right now we're looking at 7-8 Clippers Timberwolves tied. The Warriors only half a game in front of them. The one thing I did want to bring up, sorry it took so long. I just looked at the standings. Lakers keep falling 4-5. They're going to end up. That means OKC will have to see them in the second round. And I think they're doing that on purpose because they think that OKC is the weakest or a very weak 1 seed, that they don't want to play Denver in the second round. They'd rather play OKC. And I think it's pretty obvious because, one, LeBron takes a week, 2 weeks off. He wasn't injured. They sit Luka when they don't want to play him. They sit LeBron when they don't want to play him. They lose to the Bulls when they're both healthy by too many points, look like they're not trying. We're probably going to see them in the second round. And
Bring
I hope we make an absolute statement against them because I've been watching this a lot. I think it's pretty clear that they want to see OKC in the second round instead of Denver, which is mind-blowing to me, but maybe I'm just a biased fan.
I don't know if this is a bad take, but I think that's a series where we could throw out that double big because how do they contain Hartenstein and Chet at the same time? I don't think they have the players to do it. If the double bigs lineup's clicking come playoff time, which I think it will be. There's been some signs of growth in that double big lineup, especially in these last few games.
That's a great point. Like Hayes and Hartenstein easily wins that battle, and then who's guarding Chet? Well, and then you got to remember we have Shai and Jalen Williams on our team as well, so it's like
right, and Dort and Kaysen and Wiggins and
they can't guard our sides, and then they can't guard our guards. Like
the one thing I'd be curious about with that double big against the Lakers is the 4 right now for them is Dorian Finney-Smith. I think he leaped over Hachimura for now, at least. So I don't know if I'd love Chet guarding Dorian Finney-Smith on the perimeter. I'd probably rather just have, Chet at the 5 against Jackson Hayes, who nobody's worried about. But it's all super close still. I mean, we're talking Nuggets at the 3 seed, 15.5 games behind OKC, which is hilarious. Grizzlies are only half a game behind Denver. Lakers are only half game behind the Grizzlies. And then you go to that 6, 7, 8. Warriors 19 games out of first, and then the 17 Clippers 19.5, Timberwolves 19.5. So it's all going to be thrown around this next few coming week and a half, 2 weeks or so. But I'm just super excited to see where everyone ends up and who we will be playing.
It actually works to our advantage because it means teams are fighting for seeding, so they're probably going to play us hard, which is good prep for the playoffs.
I think the best case scenario. I was going to say the best case scenario right now is either the Golden State Warriors or the Lakers end up in that 6th spot, and it seems like they're both kind of fighting for that 5 seed right now, so they can kind of see us in the second round or whatever their game plan is. But either of them would have a tough matchup if they become the 6th seed. I think it'd be hilarious if the Lakers accidentally tanked a little too hard and ended up there, and then ended up having to possibly be on the side with the Nuggets or something, absolutely get demolished by Jokic, because I feel like
the Lakers,
Nuggets would demolish them. So
the Lakers should be fine. I mean, they're 2.5 games in front of Golden State, and they're probably just going to start hitting their little groove again because LeBron's just getting back into play here. I think it works to our advantage as well, Landon, because we kind of just get to sit there and watch how it unfolds. We have nothing to do this. I mean, obviously we still have to play games and stay healthy. But we literally could just watch it all unfold, and then we get to watch the play-in, and whoever it is first round, they'll be ready, and we'll move on from there.
I think it'll be telling if they try to tank against us in the matchup in the back-to-back. That'll really tell us that they're trying to see us in the second round, to be honest.
Right.
It seems like that's what the case is.
I think we could have like one fully healthy game and still in that back-to-back because, I mean, they don't want to lose 2 in a row. If they lose 2 in a row, they're slipping towards maybe the 6th seed against Denver. They don't want that.
Yeah. It'll be interesting when we get to that spot, like where they're at, and if they can afford to lose back-to-backs and it kind of locks them into that position, or, how we decide to position ourselves and like see if we want to, mess up whatever they're trying to do. I think it'll be a lot of chess playing because our franchise is a lot quieter when it comes to the chess that we play, but play a lot of chess when it comes to moves around the NBA. So there'll be some mastermind game plans going on between LeBron, Sam Presti, Mark, right. JJ. So I don't think we'll give our full lineup against them because from what I've noticed, like other games, we just haven't, like against Nuggets and other top level teams, even against the Celtics, I believe, we haven't had fully healthy rosters when it comes to like having Shai, J-Dub, and Chet on the court. And I think that benefits us because it's harder to game plan. LeBron's going to be very well prepared because we run very specific sets, and he's going to know exactly what sets are going to be run. So we've got to be ready for that matchup.
Yeah, there's just like one more thing I wanted to bring up with these standings. I'm just looking at them. I mean, I know maybe it's not like as impressive as it sounds, but it's just so funny. I'm looking at the last seed in the West. OKC is 44.5 games in front of Utah. That means that OKC would have to win 44 games straight, and Utah would have to lose 44 games straight. Like that, you know how crazy that is in an 82-game season to be 44.5 games above a team. Not that Utah's anything, but just wanted to point that out. But other than that, if you guys have any closing remarks, go ahead. If not, we could wrap this up.
We used to be that team, and look at us now.
Yeah. But I guess that'll be it for tonight. Another W, 121-105 against Sacramento in Sacramento. 7th straight win. MVP locked up. First seed locked up. Just waiting for those. Oh, you want to bring that up?
Yeah. We also have SGA kind of locking up the scoring title, and I believe 9 out of 10 previous scoring title winners have also won MVP. So it's pretty much locked up. I mean, he has above 95% chance. After this game, I predict it'll go up to like 97, 98%, which is pretty much as locked as it can get. If you're a real hardcore Thunder fan, you probably knew about a month ago that this was locked up. Only the casual NBA reporters. And
I've been saying for 2 months that this has been wrapped and everyone's just chatting.
Yeah.
But anyway.
We can only hope. Touch wood, touch wood.
That's crazy. Anyway.
No, this is locked up.
Anyway, yeah, we will see. Well, we play Thursday at home against Memphis. We will see who's in the lineup, and we will see you guys next time. Thank you for watching. If you like what you're watching, please hit that subscribe button. Follow us on all platforms, Instagram, X, YouTube, obviously. Guys, come on, help me out. Spotify, Apple Music,
Facebook.
Apple Podcast, Facebook. List goes on and on. Wherever you could find an account, we're at there. We're at Bring the Thunder
Reddit.
Podcast. Reddit. Just, yeah. All right.
Snapchat us.
Yeah, you could Snapchat us. But anyway, we will see you guys next time, and I'm going to let Landon do it this time. Just kidding. Thunder up, baby. Let's go.
Let's go.
Son.